how, compassion has these different layers. One of those layers is empathy, and it's the feeling part of it, right? It's the connecting to the feeling of others through the feelings of our own heart, our own intuition, our own sense of feeling the feelings of others. Yeah, is the empathy part, and that part can really pull us. That's where we can get overwhelmed with the suffering. Is in that aspect of it, and compassion itself, in my opinion, actually doesn't do that. It doesn't cause us to be overwhelmed with the suffering, but rather responds in an energized way. And I'll give you an example of this, and that is, as a chaplain in a cancer hospital for 5 years, there would be moments where, we'd be sitting and nothing big was happening, and you start getting sleepy, and you start getting kind of just like, okay, this is kind of routine, and I guess I signed on for this too, and such. And then I was a on-call chaplain. My pager would go off, and there'd be a medical alert, code blue, right? Somebody had a seizure, or fell, or lost consciousness, and so I would come onto the scene, and that's when you wake up and you feel like, here it is. To respond, to be helpful, is energizing. Compassion itself is like that, and yet it also has an aspect of effortlessness to it, because it just is. It is the isness of a heart that is willing and ready to respond and be helpful. And in many ways, the kind of compassion that we're cultivating in this image of a heart that is bright and clear and strong and vibrant is a heart that is uh, sort of almost impervious to the suffering, at the same time that the caring is arising, the deep caring, the being moved to make it better. So we have these terms, compassion fatigue, which in my opinion doesn't exist, because compassion is that which energizes. It's loses nothing when we respond. It's like a candle lighting another candle. I think I said this in our extension school class this week. A candle that lights another candle loses nothing, but the room is brighter. And like two hearts are like that. But the empathy, the empathic distress is very real. What we might call the vicarious trauma, the feeling the heartbreak to a point where we just cannot feel anything else. Yeah. And so that's why in this Tonglen practice, we began first being where we are in our own chair, taking a moment to unhook from all of the stuff that's going on, and just holding your own feelings in your own love, and not going any further than that. Just hold your own feelings, the despair, the heartbreak, the tears, with this quality of love and compassion, and then reminding yourself others too feel this very feeling, as we can attest to this call tonight, is that many of us share these feelings. And reminded of that, we're part of a community of people feeling this very feeling. And now we're not just doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for each other. Yeah. And anyway, and then we're sort of training the heart now to move beyond our own reactions to be of benefit. But that is not meant to be easy. This is not, I think, Libby, what you're saying is, it's like, man, I just could not feel it. I can't get there because of all this weight and gravity that I'm carrying. And yes, I agree. It makes sense. Um, it's a yes and, though, not a yes but. That's where the practice is. So,
Well,
yeah, the Buddha,
that's beautiful. Thank you.
yeah, the Buddha also told us that one of the ways of abandoning sorrow, it's not just all about bringing love and flowers and good things into it. It's about enduring. And sometimes the Buddha himself said, this is in the Pali Canon, the Buddhist teaching that sometimes we just have to endure things that feel really awful, especially and if they're things we're feeling for others too. We're sitting there with them in this feeling pit. Yeah. And continuing to cultivate, even in the midst of helplessness. Because that part of you it's already there, Libby. It is already shining there. I know you and I can feel your heart. But there's a thundercloud there that we all share. The sun is still shining above it or beneath it.